What makes this chart pattern unique is that it makes possible the biggest return in the shortest possible time. The parabolic curve is the most powerful technical analysis chart pattern I know. If you want to learn about how to get 300%, 500% and even 1000% in a few weeks, watch this video to the very end. If this is your first time and you want to know how to make money in financial markets, what are the most profitable strategies, when and how to buy stocks, and all types of other financial market-related stuff, start now by subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. New videos every week. In this video you will learn what the parabolic curve chart pattern looks like, 2 trading strategies for both long and short trades. You'll be able to use this pattern at both a sharp rise and a sharp drop in price. How big money and the crowd behave at different stages of this pattern. You will understand that you should always be on the smart money side. The techniques I have developed in order to determine that big capital is actually in the game. Optimal entry points and optimal stop-loss values, as well as the most dangerous points when you shouldn't open a position. Additional conditions in the stock and futures markets for sustainable trading of this pattern. You will learn what the volume and other market conditions should be. Real-world examples of the parabolic curve chart pattern for stocks and futures. We will even analyze the booms and busts of Bitcoin that moved in full compliance with the parabolic curve chart pattern. You will see on your own what big capital had been doing during this resonant Bitcoin story, and you will understand how important it is to follow the big money direction. The parabolic curve pattern represents a parabolic trend movement. It starts quite smoothly with a gradual price rally boost, followed by an enormous, almost vertical rally in the stock price in the final part of the trend. This trend is formed as the price moves up in steps. Stagnation, rally, stagnation, rally, stagnation, even more significant rally. Typically, each rally period is longer than the previous one. That's why the trend formation is parabolic. Stagnation periods are the so-called bases. Very often the stock or futures price can grow 2-3 times in a very short period of time after a breakout following the third base. In the pattern's final part, the price goes up almost vertically with large bars. We build trend lines at the points where stagnation ends. The trend line has the sharpest angle in the pattern's final part. When the price closes below the trend line, it's a signal that rally has come to an end and that a hysterical sale of stocks will soon begin. The panic sale leads to an even faster drop in price. You can see for yourself that we have 2 opportunities to trade the parabolic curve pattern. Long at the stage of the parabolic move formation and short after the breakout of the latest trend line when the price closes below this trend line. Thus, we have a number of opportunities to enter the trade. The most experienced traders manage to work using both pattern directions, at the rally and at the drop in security price, and make a fortune on this. Entry points to long positions are always just above the price stagnation level. The level's breakout should be at increased volume. Stop-loss orders may be placed below the lowest price level during the stagnation period or below the trend line level. Or to reduce the risk of loss to zero, you can place a stop-loss at the same point where the position was opened. The most optimal entry points for long positions are the first, second and the third base breakouts at a high volume. Personally, I am guided not only by volume. I always make sure that the big capital is in the game, because my approach is based on the use of behavior patterns of large market powers. I call them invest patterns, and in a few moments I will show you how I do it on charts. In my Twitter feed I post fresh market insights that can help you make better trading decisions. There I also post my recent big winners in stocks, futures and some currencies. There you will see the stocks that I select based on my custom analysis method, when I see the potential for a big trend movement in them. For each security I show my low-risk entry point a few days before a strong trend begins. The stocks I select very often grow in price by 50%, and some of them may even double their value in just a few weeks. You should see this to make sure that price action in the financial markets is indeed predictable, and understand that if I can find out so precisely and well in advance which stocks go up, then you can find this out too. So watch this video to the end and then check out my Twitter feed to see how my forecasts prove to be real-world market movements worth millions of dollars. The upper part of the parabola, when the price moves almost vertically, is the most dangerous area. At this point, buying a stock is not recommended at all, due to increased risks. I found out and will show you on a real-world example that it is in this area that big capital is no longer present in stocks or futures. And the hysterical price rally is the final agony of the crowd, which will also start to sell hysterically in the second stage of the parabolic curve chart pattern, thereby giving the informed investors the opportunity to become even richer. We are going to dive into the most effective ways of applying the parabolic curve chart pattern in just 1 second. But before we do, I want to know what is your biggest frustration in making money trading stocks. Put in the comments below, because if we can all help each other, we can all help each other become better traders. So comment below with your biggest trading frustration. Alright, let's dive into some important tips. The parabolic curve chart pattern is the most speculative pattern in the stock and futures markets. When studying its features, I came to the following conclusions. For stocks, it can be seen very often in recent IPOs, and it can be well identified on daily charts. For individual futures, this pattern works perfectly on weekly charts, and for a number of futures it works on daily charts. For sure, it's logical that large market powers in the copper and soybean markets behave in a different way. The speculative rally and boom after the third base is due to the fact that no one wants to sell stock or futures. Everyone just wants to buy. Emotions and desires of the crowd are the driving factor for the parabolic trend. When a stock, future or other securities in the final stage of this pattern, the desire to buy is always boosted by an endless newsfeed. This was the case for Bitcoin and for marijuana stocks. Excessive demand at the final stage in the futures market is the result of political and global economic events. And now let's move on to rate charts. Marijuana company and its daily stock chart. Shortly after the IPO in August 2018, a stock was worth $25. Here are the first, second and third bases. There were just a few days to form each of the bases. The third base formed after the earnings report. Please pay attention to the enormous trend volumes, which also grew parabolically. On September 19, the stock price reached $300, a gain of crazy 1000% per month. In this area, there was an endless newsfeed about investments in marijuana stocks. The optimal entry points were at the second and third bases. On September 19, when the stock reached $300 and closed down at a huge volume, it became clear that it was time for a short position. And here is the entry point according to my two-stage system. My system is based on the action patterns of big capital. I identify these patterns at the first stage and use the technical analysis and price patterns strictly at the second stage. Knowledge without practice is useless. Therefore, with the utmost dispatch, right after watching this video up to the end, accomplish a simple practical task that I have prepared for you on my Instagram. It will allow you to go straight from theory to action. So, as soon as you watch this video, just go to my Instagram page, check what I have prepared for you there and become a successful trader faster than others. Below this video there is a hashtag for you to quickly find that practical task, and you can use my Instagram page as a source of your daily motivation. I post many helpful things there and links to some valuable free stuff that I have. DocuSign stock. A few weeks after the IPO, two bases were formed. The Lexman algorithm I developed, which is based on big capital logic, showed that big money had entered the game. This level can be considered the third base, after which there is an almost vertical rally. In a short while, the stock price rose from 38 to 66. Here, the price broke through the trend line, but closed in the upward direction, while the next bar, the highest high of the move, closed with a downward move at a large volume. This was a signal that the bullish high day was over. Bitcoin. We all remember Bitcoin's story. Let's have a look at what my Lexman algorithm was showing. Most of the big players entered here, at the second base, and at the drawdown before the third base. Please note that the sale or stagnation starts just when the Lexman algorithm comes to this level, reflecting the large market power behavior. We can see that the big money bought almost no Bitcoin in the final part of the sales. They gladly sold Bitcoin to the crowd. And we remember that all the news was talking about how incredible this cryptocurrency was, that Bitcoin futures would soon be sold on Chicago Mercantile Exchange, and that the price of one Bitcoin would soon reach $100,000. For me, this only meant that now the truly large market powers, the institutional investors, would come into play. These guys don't buy high when they can buy low. In conjunction with the parabolic curve chart pattern, my Lexman algorithm, and understanding of the big capital logic, it was clear that Bitcoin was doomed. The price closed in this area below the trend line, making it possible to enter short positions. Copper weekly chart. Here is the parabolic curve pattern we know. Now you will see evidence that big capital always knows more than the crowd. At the bottom of the chart you can see a curve showing the real-world net positions of commercials, the largest power in the futures market, who report weekly on their net positions. When this curve goes up, commercials buy, and when it goes down, they sell. In 2004, the copper price was flat and formed the first base of the parabolic curve pattern. In 2005, the second base was formed. At the end of the base, the price started to drop a bit. But at the same time, big capital started to increase its positions, buying off dropping copper futures from everyone who sold them. In May, their positions reached the maximum in several years, and naturally, the price reverted and went up. They also bought during this drawdown and continued to buy when the price stood flat again, forming the third base. Copper went up again. And finally, in the fourth area of stagnation, their positions reached another high and the copper price propelled upwards almost vertically. I hope you noticed this curve. This is the Lexman algorithm I developed, which I created when I understood the logic of big capital behavior under various market conditions. The Lexman algorithm curve mirrors the behavior of the curve of the real positions of big capital. Therefore, it can be used for the stock market that doesn't have commercials. And in the area of the third base, the Lexman algorithm showed us that this area is perfect for big capital's entry. This had actually happened. If you want to know how to predict trends in financial markets and make huge gains with this knowledge, click the link in the description to check out my free video training, Insider's Pattern Number 1, How to Predict Trends in Financial Markets with 95% accuracy. If you are serious about becoming a successful trader or investor, make sure to get this video training right after watching this episode till the end. I'm thinking about making more videos about technical analysis and price patterns, so if you want me to do that, put in the comments below, yes, I want more technical analysis tips for stocks, and I will make this happen. If you got value from this video, please do me a favor. Just hit the share button below this video to share it out on your networks, Twitter and Facebook. The more you share this message, the more people will be grateful to you, especially me, because it will help my channel to grow faster, and I'll be happy to give more value to you in my videos. So please share it. Don't forget that I've prepared a special task for you on my Instagram. It will help you in turning trading knowledge into a practical skill. You can also use my Instagram page as a source of your daily inspiration. Just check it out and you will see for yourself. So use the link in the description or go to my website investwinners.com. Click this button, enter your email and name, and I'll send right to your inbox the link to access my training for free. You also may be interested to discover membership options that I have. Members of my website receive my weekly report featuring stocks that are ready for a big market move according to my analysis. We catch big winners every single week, and you can check our recent big winners on Twitter right now. In my Twitter feed, I also post fresh market insights that can help you to become a better trader. Just check it out. Make sure to subscribe for new videos every single week. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Happy trading and be smart. Follow the direction of big money.